St. Joseph Academy as you. So the shall is the same as me? You said so today. You said so in this honorable house that shall is the same as me. But Madam Speaker, leave that alone. Let me read it again for the benefit of the House. The minister may give general directions as to the policy to be followed by the board in the performance of its functions as appear to the minister to be necessary in the public interest. Here, as appear to the minister. So it's his sole discretion. As appear to him. And the board shall give effect to those directions. In other words, Madam Speaker, in this new dispensation, as proposed in this bill this evening, there is no good governance obligation to the minister to consult with anybody, much less to those supposedly highly qualified members of the board engaged to advise him before he mandates them to comply with his policy directions, regardless of how arbitrary those directions may be. What a thing. Madam Speaker, this draconian provision comes right out of the UPP handbook of the dictatorial obsessions, and it clears the way for wanton abuse of the generally acceptable standards of professional conduct and procedure in the interests of a crass, partisan, political agenda. We are turning back the clock, Madam Speaker. We are turning back the hands of time. There is no merit. There is no merit in going down that road. Section 11, Madam Speaker. Let us look at Section 11, where it deals with the appointment of a Chief Executive Officer and a Director of Finance, senior management personnel, and a management company. And the whole purpose, the whole idea of this section is to have local expertise play second fiddle indefinitely, Madam Speaker, to some overseas preference by the minister. Madam Speaker, the minister knows that these unnecessary arrangements for foreign management company to run Mount St. John indefinitely effectively stifles the development of local talent and expertise. But clearly, as we have come to appreciate, the minister doesn't care. In the 1999 legislation, Madam Speaker, the Antigua Labour Party made specific provisions for the appointment of a hospital's director and a director of finance. We actually recruited a hospital's director, and you very well know that, with an impeccable hospital management credentials, an impeccable track record, Madam Speaker. But on the understanding, Madam Speaker, on the understanding that he would have a local understudy. It was in his contract. Bring his contract here. You have it. He would have a local understudy, and that in collaboration with the board, he would lead the transition from Halberton to the Mount St. John Medical Center. His contract of employment was for 3 years. 3 years. Go and look at it. After which, his understudy, which would be a local Antiguan, would take over. I need to make the point, Madam Speaker, that the hospital's director and the chief financial officer were the only 2 foreign recruits. The only 2. But the UPP in opposition, they mercilessly hammered away at the government of the day with loud noises about domination by white people from outside. And in one of the early defining episodes of the UPP government in the sunshine, you know what happened, Madam Speaker? The overseas recruits were hounded out of their assignments. And amazingly now, Amazingly, the UPP has gone to the ridiculous extreme of farming out the entire hospital management responsibility to a foreign group at an exorbitant price. It is shameful to those who created a national furor about the internationally competitive executive compensation package for the hospital's director, to have turned around and assigned the function that he was brought here, turn around and assign the function that he was brought here to perform, to an overseas management company for $2.1 million a year. Madam Speaker, and truth be told, we understand that there are further perks over and above these outrageous annual fees to the same American hospital management company. But to this day, the minister has refused to make the contract available to this House for scrutiny, and is either unwilling or he's unable to tell the public what specific services the government and the people of Antigua and Barbuda have been receiving from this company to justify the payment of $2.1 million of the people's money every year. US or EC? Do I know if it's US or EC? I assume it's US. It's an American company. But where's the contract? Does the Honourable Member for St. John's Rural East, the Minister of Finance, have you seen the contract? And if you have seen it, I can bet you it's only recently you've seen it. Have your other cabinet colleagues seen it? What is the military state secret about it? That only you and the Prime Minister and David Chow know the terms of it. Nobody else. You think it's Shaw's Toys and Gifts business we're dealing with in here? It's the people's business. We have a right to know. For the record, Madam Speaker, this management company that has been kept on a payroll for the past few years, they could not have told us about what kind of hospital to design, because that was already done by Joey John with Watkins, Carter and Hamilton up in Houston, Texas. They could not have tell us what kind of hospital to build and how to build it, because that was already done by Complant and the same Joey John and B.T. Lewis and Stanford and all of them who went to China nearly half a dozen times. This company could not have told us what kind of equipment to put in the hospital, because that was already done and I've already said so. The cement equipment was here and everything was spec'd. So what kind of finishing materials to use to? They told you what kind of tiles to put there and what kind of flooring to put. Oh, that was already done. So you tell me, you let him impute no improper motive. Hear what he said? That up in Crosby's. He's trying to say, because he have said, and the member for St. Mary's South have said, that Joey John's teeth. Yes, you said so.
Madam Speaker, with all due respect.
Honourable members.
Mary's South said so earlier.
Honourable members, please, I don't want this to degenerate into what happened last week. And please don't call people's names in here who have no right of reply.
Yes, Madam Speaker, but for the member...
I didn't hear him say so. I'm hearing it from you. I'm asking you to stop.
Yes.
I'm hearing it from you.
Yes, but the member for St. Mary's South, Madam Speaker, said earlier...
I did not hear him say that. I'm hearing it from you. Dr. John is not in here to defend himself.
Okay.
So I don't want these third-party accusations.
Okay.
But Madam Speaker,
so Madam Speaker,
also said that
what did this parliamentarian sit down, madam, on the floor? You'll have a chance.
Honourable members.
So Madam Speaker.
Honourable member for St. Peter, your colleague is saying that he did not say those words, and he's asking you to take them back.
He didn't say which words, Madam Speaker?
The same words that I asked you not to repeat.
But if it pleases him, I take it back, Madam
Thank
Speaker.
you.
I want to move on with my presentation. Madam Speaker, what does this Panamanian registered Colombian offshore company have no track record? What did they do that caused the minister, Madam Speaker, to be comfortable paying out